All right, guys, we're going to do a quick top 3 shorts. Like, you know, not shorts, but
Just
shorting
just
them.
frayed cut off denim jeans.
All right, what do you got, Danny?
Top 3 short picks. So the market looks kind of dicey. So a good time to actually pick up some short exposure and balance off any sort of long exposure you have in your stocks, in your portfolios, I should say. All right, let's see here. So first and foremost, you'll see this in our short video, actually talking about shorting stocks. Lululemon, I really like as a short play. Most expensive it's ever been as of 3 days ago. And it doesn't make any sense. They pulled their guidance for the year on their earnings. Their earnings were pretty horrendous. And I don't think they're going to be any good anytime soon. So I think the stock ends up probably going under 200 sometime this year. So that's a solid 33% almost lower if you were to short it around 300 or so.
So how long would you hold that for? The short
It's
position?
not heavily shorted. You'll see here. You see the short float 3%. So it's going to be very cheap to stay short that stock. I would hold it probably for at least the next 3 months as retail starts to struggle. I think it should do very well.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I mean, analyst target is 281 anyway. So it's still trading above the most optimistic average price expectation by analysts.
Okay.
So that's first. Second, a lot of guys are going to be familiar with this one, Zoom. It's very, very overpriced. I think the whole play is very just drawn out at this point, honestly. I don't think they'll ever make enough money to justify their current valuation. But it has been very strong. New all-time high was hit on Thursday before it dropped a little bit with that whole notion of like the second wave of coronavirus and whatnot. I would short just a little bit of this. It's right at the analyst target price for the next year. But I think eventually, just like the previous few peaks, popularity will wane and it'll probably end up back around this 160, 180 range. So not as much of a huge percentage winner as Lululemon, but it's definitely overpriced. Long term, I think it ends up going below 100 if you're patient with it. And it isn't that heavily shorted either, only 6%. So you can just set it and forget it, honestly. I would just play it small because it has been so strong.
So that's another one you'd hold for a few months, or is that
Yeah,
something
quarterly to even possibly through the end of the year. I just don't think the earnings ramp up to the point. Let me go back to it. I don't think earnings ramp up to the point that you can justify, 1,200 times earnings and 75 times revenue. It's crazy.
That is pretty insane.
Yeah. And then lastly is Beyond Meat. A lot of people like this stock, but it is very overpriced. They're not even profitable, and it's at 25 times revenue right now. It is a little bit more heavily shorted, so it might cost a little bit more, maybe 5-7% a year to be short these shares. But you're going to make way more than that on the downside, where I think within the next 6 months, this thing probably goes below $80 again. And you're looking at almost a 50% return at that point. Analyst average target price is $96 on this thing, and yet there it sits at 145.
Wow.
So
Okay.
there's quite a bit of downside in that one too. So can't go wrong with any of these three around.
Okay, cool. That was a nice quickie. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. If you did, do us a favor. Just hit the little like button and subscribe, man. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. All right, until next time. Until next time. Thanks, guys. Danny, don't laugh at me.
Until next time.